different. You go to hockey games to get excited. 2 goals with the goalie pulled, and the Bruins, showing hearts of lions, have tied it 3-3.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. Episode 5, Same Seats Podcast. Gentlemen, defeating Sunday recording here after a Pats game, but how are we doing today?
Tough loss for the Pats, but I don't know. I'm hoping the Bruins can pick up for the Patriots' blunders today. Cap off a nice road trip.
Tough Pats game, but we are a Bruins podcast, so we are on to Minnesota.
That is true. We are on to Minnesota. Well, right on. We have excited to jump into this one today. I guess set a quick agenda. Donny Deadlines is making its debut. We talked about Donny draft picks. Now we're moving over to Donny Deadlines. This is a pretty funny one, and even the trades ahead of Don's tenure were borderline laugh out loud funny. Some of these moves. Well, then we'll look at the week past here of the kicking off of the road trip. We'll obviously recording here Sunday before the Wild game. We'll talk a little bit about the Hughes trade, what that looks like. Pretty big move. Bouillon had a pretty good day here in his debut for the Canucks. So that was pretty cool to see. That kid's legit. And then we'll wrap up as always 1 to 37. Where are we on the meter? So jumping in, Donny Deadlines, some hilarious trades. Donny came into the scene with his first move. Carl Soderberg, Bruins icon, over to Colorado for a 6th-round pick, and then he just started slinging deals left and right. This ties into the 2015 draft, of course. Funny enough, Dougie Hamilton to the Flames, Lucic to the Kings on the same day. Couple of first-rounders coming back, and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, and don't forget though, one of the second-round picks that they got in the Dougie Hamilton draft was Brandon Carlo, who did lead us to Franzman.
His French alter ego.
His Anglo-German brother.
Fraser
Franz.
Might be his nickname, who knows? And then we did get Crowley in the Martin Jones trade, which was a few days after the Lucic and Hamilton trade too.
I think we might have to print the T's, Franz Mitten.
Fun fact about Carl Soderberg: blind in one eye.
Correct.
Yes, the one-eyed Swede. And I believe he was a right wing, and he was blind in like the left eye. So like when he's breaking pucks off on the wall, he had to turn his head a full like 90 degree. Pretty impressive.
You think about it, he played in the NHL blind in one eye. How impressive is that? Some guy, millions of people can't even cut it with 2 eyes. This guy did it with 1. And even Brian Berard, Rhode Island guy, lost his eye in a game, still played after he lost an eye.
That's right. I
remember.
remember
How good you have to be.
I know. I was actually just looking up like how he lost it. I thought it was from something else, but it ended up being a high stick to his left eye. It suffered a detached retina. Soderberg.
I thought, did Berard take a puck? Or I think that could have been a high stick as well.
I'm not sure. It says right here, Soderberg received a high stick to his left eye, suffering a detached retina, and it left him legally blind in his left eye.
Insane. I didn't know that. That's an interesting fact.
And not to mention even more pro Soderberg here. That was when he was in the SEL. He made his transition to the NHL after he went legally blind in his left eye.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. I mean, and he carved out a pretty good career. Like, you'd trade that for like his career for a lot of other.
I mean, 600 games, 300 points, like 100%. That was a good career.
You gotta love that. I mean, he did have. This makes sense now. I didn't know this because he did have the longer visor, and I was always curious as to what the rationale was behind that. But all right, 2 + 2 = 4. But that was the introduction of the Donny Deadlines, Donny Deals, and then a fan favorite, the Lee Stempniak one in February of 2016. Just an all-time move.
And I will say, I went through most of the draft picks that Donny has dished out and see what the team has done with those draft picks. Nothing's jarring. So at least we didn't like lose out on someone that's been a home run hitter. You know what I mean? So we're still in the green here.
For the most part.
Yeah.
But Shabbat, Barzell, all those
Okay, well we're not bringing it back. So the 2015 draft is we've closed the file on it. We're done.
Yes, we have closed the file. But a personal favorite of mine was the Rick Nash deal. Giving the entire farm to the Rangers and getting an older Rick Nash and oldie along for the ride. And I don't know. So, some of the thought process, I respected it. We signed Matt Bolesky to I think it was a monster ticket. Remember that? And then it was
so
just
bad.
have fun in New York.
Well, we dished out Ryan Lindgren too in that trade, who ended up, I think, is he still on the Rangers? He was a solid defenseman for the Rangers.
No, he got dished. Isn't he? Again, we don't check the facts. Seattle, I think he signed with in the offseason.
Well, he was really good for New York for a solid 3 or 4 years. He was very consistent. He was playing top 4 minutes over there.
He was playing with Fox. Hot take. Fox needed someone like him.
Yeah.
A stay-at-home guy. And I don't know if this has been the same since Lindgren has departed in New York.
Yeah, he went Rangers for most of his career, and then the last 2 years he was with Colorado. I think they might have gotten him at the deadline in last year, and then he's with Seattle this year now.
Yep. Well, that was last year when Colorado kind of pushed all the chips in the middle.
And looking back on the Nash trade, the Rangers ended up taking Niles Lundqvist in the first round, and then Eric something in the 7th round. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name, but we're still in the green here.
Okay.
I want to just revisit the Lee Stepniak trade, because something Don Sweeney loves to do is he loves to acquire guys that are absolute Bruins killers. A prime example of that is just a year later when he goes out and gets Drew Stafford, who was an absolute menace for the Bruins when he was on the Sabres. He would have big goal after big goal against us, and finally Don just had to get him for his 6th-round pick.
Think about how hard he celebrated after that deal was done. We have him. He can't beat us anymore.
He can't hurt us anymore.
Not to jump ahead here, but I'm looking at the September 11th, 2018 trade that Donny did. Adam McQuaid for Steven Kampfer. I'm gonna excuse the other draft picks. That seemed like just a bizarre trade.
And McQuaid's just back, just helping the Bruins, just year over year develop the youth, and we basically gave up a back. Steven Kampfer, he would crack me up when he would come in. What was he, 44? I think you'd see Forrest come over the board and be like, "Oh boy!" But he'd score a big goal, and all of a sudden it's Steven Kampfer him. But that's when
Steven Kampfer.
That's when we maybe have back.
And but there's also other positives in here. The Taylor Hall Curtis Lazar trade for Anders Bjork and a 2nd-round pick. That was a home run. That was a complete home run.
That was probably his biggest fleece, wouldn't you say?
100%.
Definitely one of them.
I mean, when that deal came across the wire, Twitter was like, "What's up with Buffalo? Do they have any idea what they just gave up?" Anders Bjork, he was unbelievable in Notre Dame, and as someone who follows college hockey relatively close, I was excited to see if his game would translate, and it's unfortunate that it really didn't, because he had so much skill and it would have been fun. But to get Curtis Lazar, who played like he has his pants are on fire, that guy forechecks the hell out of the puck, and Taylor Hall, former MVP, could that be his best deal?
It's got to be up there.
I think before that too, when they traded for Charlie Coyle and Marcus Johansson in 2019 before they went on that run. Marcus Johansson, I think he got hurt in the first week or two he was on the Bees, and he came back just in time for playoffs. He was like Wayne Gretzky during that playoff run for them. He was scoring so many goals and had so many assists and was just making big plays all the time. He was so reliable out there. And I remember when they didn't sign him in the offseason, I was a little bummed out, but he ended up getting paid pretty good. But that was a great deal too. I mean, they should have won. Coyle was unbelievable that run too, but
I think his best trade might be the 2022 Pavel Zacha for Eric Haula. 1-for-1. That deal was right from the get-go. People were suspicious about it because Zacha, 1st-round pick, I think he was a little slow. I think he was right around 30, 40 points a year for the Devils, and he jumped in for the Bruins, and he's been 55 plus for the last 3 years. So he's had a quick turnaround.
Yeah, and even going back to anytime the Bees they have that regular season and they're ready to load up for the playoffs, Donnie doesn't hesitate to just push all the chips in the middle of the table and just go for it. I mean, he put on a complete clinic in 2023 with all the
Yep.
moves that he made. It's a damn shame that we really didn't retain a lot of these guys that we traded for, but it was it felt like a semi all-star team. The first time they had everyone together, Orlov, Bertuzzi, and you're just like, my God, this team is a complete wagon. Like they couldn't
Was
have
so
gotten any better.
So fun having Bertuzzi on the team. Like them being just absolute scumbags out on the ice was so fun to have. And
That's
so
one that
painful.
hurts to see go. Of all the guys that we have traded for and that have been a rental, for lack of better words, that's when you really hate. It's like we couldn't figure something out here with this guy. Young guy, has jam, him and Marsh, the 1-2 punch. They were the Bash brothers, and it was all time.
It was awesome. You know what? Bertuzzi would have fit in real well too with piss and vinegar.
Yes.
Imagine him and Geeky walking into the rink with like Carhartts and a Dunkin' iced coffee.
Piss everywhere.
Hair all over the place. God. Well, not for geeks. Sorry. Shot below the belt. But
I mean, I know it's separate seasons, but in 2023, Donnie also did ship Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno for solely Ian Mitchell. So another kind of a question mark trade. It might have been a salary cap thing there, but on paper, that stinks.
out
That
loud.
does stink.
Out
Yeah.
loud.
That does stink.
We get Taylor Hall for such a bargain, and then we give him away. It's just like, yeah, we don't want him anymore.
I mean, and I loved having Nick Foligno on the team too. I mean, he's still grinding. He's the captain of the Blackhawks now. I mean, talk about a guy that would mix in with the piss and vinegar. I mean, he would lead the charge.
Oh
He'd be
yeah.
the fourth line center. It'd be pretty much him or Corrali, and I'd take either of them. But I'd probably lean towards Foligno, to be honest.
Let me read this one to you guys too. This wasn't a Donnie deadline, but this was a Donnie pre-deadline. October 28th, 2022. The Bruins trade Jack Studnicka, who was maybe Fabian Lysell before his time, for Jonathan Myrenberg, who I think is like a KHL defenseman. We have his rights. And Michael DiPietro, the Providence goalie right now.
And
There's
he's had
some-
a great
so-
year too.
That could turn into something where you look back at it and be like, holy.
There's something in the water down here in the Ocean State that these goalies in Providence, it's the farm. We just need to start retaining them or dishing them for some legitimate assets. Because right now, the baby bees are cooking. The two goalies are complete studs. And we're looking this is a tangent, I guess, but we see Corp being that night after night, and we just question some of the stuff that goes on and his contract. Why don't we free up some space, give these guys a shot, and then we can reload? And if he turns his game around, we talked about this before, some team's going to be desperate enough, and they're going to throw a couple picks, maybe a prospect at us, and we'd be foolish not to capitalize on it. But yeah, Mike, that was a good call out. I mean, Jack Studnicka, similar to a Matt Patra kind of kid, in a sense, where he had his chances. Maybe he didn't get enough, but it'd be nice to see DiPietro get a shot.
Yeah, I mean, Korpisalo is at a $4 million cap hit. That hurts, especially for. I mean, he's been playing fairly well. I'm not going to knock him completely, but would love to get that off our cap space and then move into a trade that maybe we can pair it with something else and get like a scoring winger or something just to even out this lineup. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, it's since kind of 2024, it was relatively quiet, right? We got Peak. That was a good deal in our favor. He's turned out he's just kind of fit in seamlessly, especially in Carlo's absence. And obviously the Allmark trade, a bit of a head scratcher as to same division, but having Kastelik almost makes up for us just giving him away in a sense. I know Corpy was involved and there was a first round pick, but Castlick just fits in. He's a Bruin. And to see Allmark almost have a bit of a decline since going to Ottawa has made it feel a little less hurtful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we love Allmark, though, because, I mean, he won a Vezina here. So we
Yes.
always root for Allmark. So
Goalie
Total.
goal.
always. But it does beg the question, too, when they were trying to trade Allmark, was Ottawa the only one that was in conversations with the Bruins? Because former Vezina, pretty easy contract to digest. And the return on paper, when I saw that come through, I was bullshit. I was like, there's got to be more to this trade. But maybe Ottawa was one of the only ones that maybe one could afford him and two needed a goalie that badly. But in the long run, it's worked out for us because Swayman needed to take over the head honcho job, and we got Korpisalo in return, obviously, to fill the backup spot. But now I think Korpisalo to run its course, and I think we need to get DiPietro or the other guy up there too.
So let me ask you guys this. Since Donnie took over, how would you grade his deadlines, not counting last year? Up until last year, how would you grade it?
It's a good question. Give him a B minus. I did give him like an 82 on the school grading calendar, but just right before a B.
I'm going to include last year because
Well,
I
I
know-
want to get two separate things.
okay.
I think last year it's so much to factor in that I think it changes like an entire. Well, let me do quick math real quick. 8 years of work.
Okay.
Do my English do good there?
Do English? I would give him a B. A flat B. I think
Okay.
when we had to make a move and he had to push all the chips on the table, he did. And we didn't give up a ton, right? I mean, the Hampus Lindholm trade, like we gave up a good amount, but look what we got in return. Overall, I would say a solid B. A couple
So
head
factoring
scratchers.
in
So now you want to factor in? I would
with
say
last year.
I would say B plus or A minus. More toward the A minus side of the house. BKM, you're looking at me like my hair's on fire.
Well, I think you're not including the Brad Marchand trade because you have to consider what he signed for in Florida and what was allegedly offered to him from the Bruins side. We were a couple, maybe $1 million, maybe $2 million off, and he's lighting it up this year still. So he would have been able to play in another competitive team, sign him for, I don't know, 3 years. So and to get a second round conditional pick, and I know it moved to a first round pick, but I'd rather Marchand than a conditional first round pick.
I agree. This is probably an unpopular opinion. I am the biggest Brad Marchand fan going. Married a Bristol girl. I love Marchand. I think that it's given Pasta, McAvoy, these other younger guys a chance to step up, fill in like a leadership role, have more of a voice, and make it almost their team versus the old way they used to do it. I would still love to have Brad Marchand on the Bruins, but it was the right move for his career. He went on to win a cup. No one was happier than this guy in this seat right here for him. But I don't think it hurt us as bad as we think it did.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. I think turning the page is always a hard thing to swallow, but I think you're right in the fact that we needed to get a fresh new outlook on the Bruins. It's just hard to look at this guy that's dominating again. He's going to be on Team Canada at age 37. So he's obviously doing something right. So yeah, it's hard to swallow that trade because again, on paper that came through on Twitter and I was like, how is this all we're getting in return for Brad Marchand? Because he would be everyone's dream for a deadline.
I also think if he gets traded to Edmonton, this is an entirely different conversation. I think him getting traded to Florida and Florida just bullying us so bad the past 3 years, it hurts so much more than if he were to just go to Edmonton and have a great career. It's, we're waving from a distance. Yay, Brad. Cheering when he comes into town. It's just so different that he went to Florida. And I think that's why there's so many differing opinions on what is actually best for the team and the best for Brad, I guess. But it's curious. I think overall, I'm going to give Donnie all inclusively a B minus.
I'm with
including
you.
2015,
2025.
2025. Holy smoke!
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
close the file on
Yeah,
2015.
yeah,
We
God
have
damn.
to.
Yeah, just because
can't-
I am optimistic about Minton, Zelders,
Franz.
Franz, Minton. Getting rid of Carlo, I think, was good. Getting rid of him was the right move. And then, there was more good than bad. Acquiring Henry Yogiharu should drop him down to a D, but I'm not going to do that.
One guy not to breeze over though from in that Brazo deal when we got Hustadinov back.
Yeah.
This guy needs Marat. He needs to get his flowers because he's playing all over the lineup. He's a water bug out there, and in my opinion, he doesn't get enough credit. So few clicks for him. He goes from 1C to the right winger on the fourth line to the third line, and he's just bouncing all over the place. Just a good guy that you need to have in your lineup that can play up and down and make it happen and just kind of fill into a role. So
Yeah,
would
I
have been
actually-
remiss if I didn't give him his flowers.
No, it's actually like I was writing down some stuff from the Jets game, and Marat has been slow the last couple games. Just like maybe not getting as much puck luck. Just that didn't really seem noticeable out there. He had a couple of shifts in that game where he was absolutely flying around. He created a 2-on-1 on a 50-50 puck in the neutral zone, which was crazy. And then he also had a play entering the zone from the power play where the puck like just entered over the blue, was up in the air. Defenseman was coming in on the puck too, and he just knocked it down into the corner so that we at least had a shot to retrieve the puck, and then we were able to sustain pressure in there for the power play. So he's making like a lot of smart hockey plays, and he's very good defensively too. He's responsible in all three zones. So Dave, I'm completely with you. I think he's very young too. So I think he could be around for a while.
Yeah, it would have been unfortunate if we didn't give him a shout out because we covered a lot of guys and his name hasn't come up enough, in my opinion. Question for you two though, looking ahead on pieces to add here or sell here through the deadline. Saw a crazy tweet about we need another right-handed shot defenseman. Certain names were thrown out, almost threw my phone across the room because I'm unsure if that's the need. But want to get your thoughts here, guys, on should we do something? In what position should we be in at this stage, seeing that we're 19 and 11, and we're in a pretty good spot.
I mean, I think we definitely need defensive help, especially depth wise. Like we're down to our 11th or 12th defenseman this year alone. So I think we need something. Maybe not to the trade proposal that you saw, Dave, with Justin Falk. I don't think we can carry that cap with the amount of cap space that we have, and two, I'd rather someone maybe a little bit grittier and someone that's like not. We already have our offensive defensemen between McAvoy and I guess you could put Hampus in there too and Lowry, but I don't think we need Falk. I think we need to look in other.
Mike, you're nodding and smiling. This seems like a loaded question.
No, I don't. I'm not crazy about Falk. I never really have been too crazy about him. I don't know. He just doesn't really fit the Bees. One person that I would like the Bees to get, I don't even know if he's a righty, Brendan Dillon. He kind of is a suitcase, but he fits into every team that he plays on because he's just tough as shit. He's always willing to scrap. He's one of those guys who will block 3 to 4 shots a night. He's just willing to do the dirty work. He's kind of like an Andrew Peak, and I always wanted him to get on the Bees because he seemingly is a piece that's not afraid to be dealt by GMs across the league.
Yeah, he's on the Capitals right now, and he's a lefty, so I think we would be SOL on that one. But I completely agree with you. He would be awesome to have.
Good research, Mike.
Well, you got a guy like Rasmus Anderson who's coming up to be a UFA. Right-handed shot D-man. Right now he's carrying a cap of 4.5. Someone's going to pay him oodles of money because the free agent market isn't what it used to be. But the ask could not be terribly big for him, and the Bees have the assets. If they need a right-handed shot defenseman, that could potentially be a guy that fits the mold, but personally, I don't think we have too many injuries. These guys are going to come back. They're not going to stay hurt forever. The BMC Bees are going to get released from the hospital. So
Discharged.
yeah, they're going to get discharged. I think if we're going to do anything, we do something up front and we try to make a move there. I know we talked Kyrou, BKM, you had that proposal.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And
Yeah.
but then you look at the team like the Canucks and they're just so who knows? Maybe we send Lysell over there and we get a piece back or something in a pick
Yeah.
or
I mean, I've always wanted Brock Besser. I know he just re-signed in Vancouver, but maybe to your point, Dave, maybe it's a yard sale over there and they're going to get rid of some of the bigger names and get some money off their books. So, I mean, who knows? It could work. To your point, Dave, about the free agents that are pending, this list right here, this is what ESPN labeled as their elite pending free agent tier. And that's Rasmus Anderson, Mario Ferrero, Jordan Eberle, Boone Jenner, Evander Kane, Mason Marchment, Nick Schmaltz, Jordan Schwartz, and Alex Tuck is the elite tier for
so 2 elite names
Not
on
elite.
that list.
yeah. So that's a little scary to stare down because nothing's going to happen in free agency. It's all going to come from trades. The one person I saw that was floated out online was Matthias Maselli in Toronto.
I saw
He's
that.
been scratched a few games for Toronto. He buzzes around there. He had 57 points in the 23-24 season, so he can dish the puck a lot. He's not a big time goal scorer, but he'll probably grab 15 for you a year. My only question mark with that is, would Toronto do another trade with us after the Carlo trade? So I don't know.
We're Toronto's daddy. They can try to dance with us again, but we'll just own them. It's a good point because Schmaltz he's going to sign back in Utah.
Yeah,
Like you could probably pencil that in. So that's another name. Tuck.
I would love to have him though.
Do terrible things to happen. Still young. What is he? 30.
Well, I mean, the other thing too is that because they're the elite tier, their agents are going to be pushing for the highest number, which obviously makes the most sense.
Totally.
I mean, you're Tuck and Schmaltz are probably looking at 10 plus per year, if I had to guess.
Easy. Is Schmaltz a 96 or not? Regardless, I know Tuck's a 96. I think like they're still young, and
They're all under 30. Most of them are. Yeah.
I mean, good for them. They're going to get paid.
That's why I'm so high on the Kyrou trade.
I could see Boone Jenner possibly making it the free agency. Like, I don't know if Columbus would sign him back. He would be pretty fun to have on the Piss and Vinegar Bees, though. He would bring some. He would join the FCC pretty good.
Yeah, he would. We'll have shirts for those soon.
We can only have so many guys in the ice at one time that are the same player. He is good.
Well, I mean, to that point, I did see that the Bruins are they were number 2 in total hits for the team entering like last week. The Rangers were in first, 813 hits, and the Bruins were 779. Third place was 727, which was the Blues. Their company isn't fantastic. It's the Rangers, Bruins, Blues, Panthers, Maple Leafs, and Senators. So there's maybe 2 good teams out of this entire list, but yeah, I mean,
Where's
I like to see the
Colorado
body
on that
contact.
list?
I only had top 6, but they got to be probably pretty high.
Colorado doesn't have to hit anyone because they hold the puck the entire game.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Right on. Anything else on the trade talk here, gentlemen, before we do a couple recaps from this past week?
No, I mean, we're far away from the deadline, so these are all just ideas floating around. But who knows? I mean, we just saw Quinn Hughes go on December 13th, or was it just December 12th? I think
12th.
so. Yeah. So I mean, anything could happen.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. We'll have to keep tabs. And some sellers potentially. The Blues, depending how things go. Hilarious seeing Pasta slotted in on the third line. And Sturm after the game. Pretty good game for a third liner. It was either that game or the Jets game, but an all-time quote by Sturm. Eastmont flexed out for that game, but slow start, painful start to that one. But goddamn, do they turn it on? And Corrali with the patience that we could have been waiting there for 15 years, and he still would have had time to put that thing in.
Yeah, Corrali had a great game. I did think he got that goal off the tip from Soderstrom, but looked like it ended up being Kastelik. So Kastelik and Minton had great games. I can't believe that was Minton's first 2-goal game. I know he's only played a handful of games in the NHL total, but that was crazy to see. And then I did log that Janot did have 7 hits through 2 periods in that game. So it's a lot. It's a lot of body contact entering the third. So
Cameron, on that Kastelik Corrali goal, that it looked like both of them tipped it and ended up getting credited to Kastelik. But Janot actually got screwed out of a secondary assist because he made an unbelievable play on the wall where he just stapled the guy trying to break out, kept the puck in, and then they worked it down low and ended up getting the shot. And Soderstrom got the second assist, but that was something that I noticed where he was just laying people out and should have got credited for a point. So I felt bad he kind of got fucked out of one.
I feel like that's happened to him a few times this year.
Yeah,
and I did see
probably.
he already matched his season total from last year.
Love that.
So huge.
Well, when they have that lineup and that Janot, Minton, Kastelik line, love that line together. But you slide those two to the fourth line, put Corrali between them. That's a pretty deep lineup. And with Steve's going the way he's going, Geeky's going the way he's going, there's pretty good consistency top to bottom on that. And it's not a team that you want to face off against.
No, and like back to the Janot thing. I think when he signed with the Bruins, a lot of people were bullshit about it. He signed for $3.4 million for 5 years, which is not ideal on paper, obviously. But the free agent market was slim pickings, very similar to this upcoming year. He did have 41 points at one point, so he can put the puck in the back of the net and make plays. Do I think he gets back there? Probably not, but I do think he can be a 30-point guy for us, and he adds a ton of physicality, and that might just be the new going rate for a guy like that. I think the salary cap is eventually going to keep going up, but I think after this year, maybe after next year, we look at it and we're counting our blessings that we have a Janot on our team at the rate that we do.
Definitely. I was definitely one of those people when I first saw the contract. I was flabbergasted, up in arms. But from what he's put on tape this year, I do like what I'm seeing from him a lot. I think he's meshing really well. And especially if you look at a guy like Frederick, which was essentially who he was replacing, I think Janot is light years better. And I mean, we probably would have paid Frederick more at longer term. So comparing it like that, hand up, I was wrong on the Janot contract.
Yeah. I
It's
think
good to be wrong.
It is.
I think everyone was in that boat. And we'll think about it. Tampa gave up, I think, every single pick they had for like the foreseeable future and their
Crazy.
firstborns to Nashville for Tanner Janot. It was just an insane haul that Nashville got. I mean, he's proved it. I think, did he play for Sturm when he was in LA? Like, was he a part of that? Because Sturm's bringing in these guys that he was familiar with or has confidence in, and goddamn, is it showing.
Sturm was in the AHL. I don't think Janot played for the AHL Kings team, but I mean, same systems.
No, yeah, I thought he was an assistant at one point with the Kings. I could be terribly wrong again. We're not checking facts here.
Doesn't matter.
I think he was, Dave. I think
Was he?
For a short stint, he was the assistant coach.
Before he took over for the Ontario Reign, formerly known as the Manchester Monarchs at one point.
But back to the Blues game, the lines are cool. They're funny, especially seeing Pastrnak on the third line. It's certainly not sustainable. I'm down to keep the train rolling as we continue to win, but we do need Pastrnak in the top 6. The other thing that I did notice, just looking at the box scores after the game, I didn't notice it in real time, was when Pastrnak is back, Steve sees less ice than what we've seen over the last couple weeks here. So something to keep an eye on. I don't think it's anything to buy stock in, but I think with the shuffling of lines, I would love to see movement up with Pastrnak and then drop Arvidsson and Middlestad and pair them with Zacha, and then have them hold down the third line with Murat and then keep the fourth line as is. That would be my ideal rotation, but who knows?
One thing I noticed for the Blues game when Franz Minton was playing with Murat and Pasta was Marat especially looked so confident with the puck. And I wonder if that's the Pasta effect where he knows he's playing with a superstar out there. So that raises his game a little bit. And he looked really good. I mean, he hasn't looked that good in the past few weeks. And when he started playing with Pasta, it was night and day from what it's been over in the past.
I agree with that.
Guys like Pasta make players around them better.
Mhm.
And it's just proven if you have that much skill, that much confidence, that much creativity, just get open or get him the puck.
Yeah.
And it
One
will find
thing-
you.
One thing the broadcast said too, I don't know if you guys caught this, but they said Pasta has suffered this same injury in the past, but he's never missed time. He's always played through it. So this one, I mean, he had to miss 5 games or whatever, 4 or 5 games from it. So if he's playing hurt basically all the time, is how I interpreted that. How fucking good is he? He is
That's a
unbelievable.
fantastic question.
Like, he's just been
Love.
playing through this. He had 60 goals 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's like a gift from God for the Bruins. Like,
It's
if they didn't
insane.
draft him in the first round of that, who knows what the Bruins are right now. The other thing I did want to mention, I'm a huge Mike Easymont fan. I don't really know where you put him. I'm not second guessing the lines at all because things are working, but I like his game a lot. He plays hard. He's got some skill to him. He's a big body. Although I would love to keep him, his contract is so appealing to other teams. It's 2 years, it's under 2 million per year, and he's already got 13 points this year. So I don't know if he could be a part of a trade for the Bruins, but I just don't even know where you slate him at this point.
It's him and Husdinov for me that are almost interchangeable, right? And Isama, great on his edges. He's great down low. He can work that jam play on the power play, coming from below the goal line. But he could be a good piece to ultimately move off of if that time comes or there's a decent enough return, or you can put him in a package, because it's unfortunate because a guy like him should be in a lineup somewhere every night because he's got game and he can play.
Yeah, it's 12 points in this year, and his contract is 2 years at 2.9 million, so just under it's under 2 million per year.
Which is a bargain for teams looking to fill a role like that going down the stretch with a little more depth.
Oh yeah, and you have the security of the following year too. You haven't
True.
locked up at a low rate.
If we didn't have the emergence of Alex Steves, I think it's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But him
Agreed.
just turning it on and coming onto the scene. There was a pretty interesting thing. He was interviewed. I don't know if it was Behind the Beer or one of those. But Steve's just like, I'm so focused on making the NHL. It's all I cared about, like, forever. And to see him stick and do what he's doing, we gave him his flowers. He got his little same seats bump, and he's still kind of riding the wave. But you go, you make a name for yourself, and unfortunately, another guy loses his job. But that's just the name of the game.
I know, and pretty much to put a bow on this Blues game, the tweet exchange with Morgan Geeky and the Blues admin about him wearing a jacket in 47 degrees. 47 degrees warrants a jacket, so I don't really know where that comes out. But for Geeky to respond back with a picture of Kaslick's stat line being number 47 was hilarious. Geeky's a hilarious follow on Twitter. He tweets like
He is.
once a quarter pretty much, and it's always just an A+ tweet that goes viral.
He was 10 out of 10 on Chicklets. That was a great
Yeah.
listen. Humble guy, makes you want him. We've been saying it, but makes you want to put him on Team Canada for the Olympics.
I know.
Makes you
And I
want
did see Bucci Gross had him slated as one of the extra forwards on Team Canada. We were talking about it, I think, yesterday over a couple of beers. Was there's only one puck on the ice, so they're going to need some third and fourth line guys that can actually play that role for Team Canada. So I'm interested to see. I did see that their rosters are coming out. I think it's on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, one of the two. So we'll have to do a preview for that next week.
Don't give away the sauce. Save your thoughts, Brian. Save your thoughts. Come on, we're gonna get there. We need these listeners come back for more. All right on. Well, the Jets game. Goddamn, was the power play buzzing. Spotter
Yeah.
has the boys cooking. Chuck, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Chuck. Chucky All-American. I think Geeky even called him that too on Chicklets. Just hilarious with the bubble. It was great to see him back. look like he hasn't really missed a step. He took a penalty early. He had to just get on the score sheet. I respect it. You got to get logged in somehow, get activated, but they looked really good against the Jets. Other than Lorai getting toasted on the wall, that was tough. But other than that, I thought all in all it was a good game. But it sucked to see Aspero go down
Yeah.
early too.
One thing I liked was straight from the start was Castlick getting the piss and vinegar flowing through the boys early, dropping the mitts. Really liked that. And then you already said it, Dave. I had that written down in my notes. Lorai looked horrible out there. I don't think he played that bad throughout the entire game, but it was a tough look. Tough look.
He's been playing good hockey, but one clip he just had cement in his pants.
Yeah, that was green jacket Lorai from last year is what that was. So
And I don't know if there's some hatred between Shen and Castlick, but I think that's the third time they've fought in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So there's something there that maybe we don't know about.
Interesting, because I had gentlemen's. Oh, I was gonna say, that was a gentleman's scrap as my notes. It was to the point, kind of no nonsense, but them kind of going over and over again. We're gonna have to bring out our private investigator over here on the pod, and he's gonna have to do some digging into this and for us.
Yeah. I did see that Razor did tweet out, Andrew Rakoff tweeted out that this game is only the 6th time this year that the Bruins have had Elias Lindholm, Hampus Lindholm, and Chuck playing together, and that's only 5% of the season.
Nuts.
So that's crazy. And I also did love that Geeky did come out with the puffer jacket for the Winnipeg game as well. Just keep the good times rolling. I did also see, too, the Bruins had a scout at the Tampa Bay Canadiens game. I don't really know why. I was thinking about it through and through, and I don't know who they're looking at, but I thought there was a laundry list of 8 scouts at that game. So I don't know, something to keep an eye on.
There was another note, too, from the Jets and we talked about this a little bit too, not just the Jets game, but going back weeks, it's just the play of Pavel Zacha. The guy's playing the game the right way. And I know we talked about it when they played the Devils. He had that back check, but he's just playing the right way. He's doing all the little things. And again, the 1-for-1 Halla deal is just paying dividends for the Bees over and over again.
Yeah. He makes all the right plays. He's good in the faceoff dot. He's not going to wow you in the game, but he makes all those small plays that lead to goals. And to your point, Dave, he's been an anchor for the Bruins.
Also, and I'm an idiot, I need to draw this one back. I talked about the Crowley goal against the Blues. He didn't score against the Blues. That goal was against the Jets, where he just waited out Comrie and went backhand. So
that's okay.
Just something didn't feel right. My notes were a little off.
We push on,
but we have to call that one out, and we have to get ahead.
Take better notes, buddy.
I know, God. Hey.
One thing about Lindholm's goal, his first 5-on-5 goal, this year? Is that right? Am I tweaking that stat a little bit, or is that right?
That's unfortunately correct.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, he's great at passing the puck, but he needs to step his shit up in terms of putting the puck in the net at even strength. I've been saying this for a while. His contract and Morgan Geeky's should 100% be flipped.
Yeah. I also did see that someone tweeted out that it was Bruins Diehard tweeted out that Geeky is the player that fans hoped DeBrusk would be, and nothing has been more true.
That's an interesting tweet.
Yeah.
Kind of something to chew on.
So maybe like some retribution for the 2015 draft.
Yeah, for sure. I had a thought too watching this game because Minton he was having such a strong weekend, but there's a play where Scheifele was at the red line and he was trying to break in, and Minton was just before the far blue line, probably had 3 steps behind him, and he caught right up to him, and Scheifele had to dump it in the corner or something instead of, crashing right on net. And I was just thinking, this kid is unbelievable. Like, what a center he is. He is what we wanted Matt Patra to be probably 2 years ago. Like what we wanted Patra to develop into. It looks like Minton is going to be that guy.
He just has the grit. He's similar defensively, His game defensively is similar to Zaka in a sense where they come back hard on the puck. They go to the puck carrier. Their sticks are in good position. And their stick checks, like Minton, time and time again, he'll do a little stick check, lift the stick, puck goes the other way. Or he just gets back, stick on puck through a guy. He's not afraid to throw it around, where as a Pacha, he's going to throw it around. I don't know their heights and weights. I'm not typing fast enough to pull this up right now, but Minton just seems like he has a heavier game than some of these other guys. And
For sure.
to your point, it's who we need. And people, there was a tweet. They're like, "Oh, the Bruins think Fraser Minton or Franz Minton is going to save the Bruins."
He is.
And he's like a revelation. And he only has X amount of points. Like, well, just watch his game. You don't need points to have it, and he's young. Look at Marshy, right? He didn't come out lighting the league on fire. You got to get there. Only the elite of the elite have it right away, but just give this kid time, let him cook. Let him
Yeah,
cook.
one thing that's promising too. Sorry, B-Ken, to cut you
No,
off.
no, no.
Is some of his goals have been pretty mucky and grindy too. So a lot of net front, kind of jamming. He's kind of adopting the mantra of P&B.
And I think too, from the outside looking in to Bruins fans, I think a lot of people are thinking like that. We think that he's the next coming. It's more so that we just have found someone that can fit a top 6 slot for us for the foreseeable future. He's very similar to what I thought when they did the Quinn Hughes trade. That guy Marco Rossi, he's going to slide it right on their second line, right behind Pettersson, and I think Minton can do the same thing for the Bruins for whoever's going to be on that first line slot center. So I think he's a great addition to the Bruins, and he's catching some heat right now.
Totally. And do we have anything on the Jets? Because the Hughes trade, and we're recording here, the game's about to start. But if we don't have anything else on the Jets, I think we just talk quickly about the Wild and what they got going on there in that Hughes trade. Because when that broke the wire, I don't think anyone saw it coming with Minnesota. But Billy G just kind of putting it on the table. But the Canucks got a good haul back. Bouillon is legit. And if anyone were to match a deal similar to what the Wild offered, the Bees could have offered something similar, in my opinion. With a Lori, I think has a lot more upside than Lori, but the Bees could have offered a very similar package in the sense to have a seat at the table. Not saying we need Quinn Hughes, not to make it about the Bruins. We're talking about that Quinn Hughes trade, but just throwing that out there.
I don't disagree. One thing I did want to it's like a cough that I just have to get out here. The Bruins are 10-2 when Hampus, Chuck, and Zadorov are in. Just a fun little stat to throw in there. So
I like
those
that.
Those are the 3 guys that are holding it down in the back end. So it's nice to know that statistic like lives. So just something to throw
Those
in
are your
there
horses.
because they're logging minutes and they're carrying the water.
Dave, to your point, I was listening to the 98.5, the hockey show, where last week there was a caller that called in and referenced same seats. But anyways, this weekend they were talking about the Hughes trade, and they said a Bruins package would have looked something like Zacha, Letourneau first, and another first, because the Zeev Bouillon kid is legit. He very, very well could turn into something comparable to Quinn Hughes. And then you throw in Marco Rossi, who I'm a big fan of Rossi. I think he's a legit player. So that, and then I don't know much about the other kid, but a first-round pick on top of that, too. I don't think the Bees have a pool that deep of prospects to be competitive.
True. I was doing some scrolling through Canucks Twitter, and
That's a dangerous place.
Yeah, wild. There's some interesting cats over there. But someone made a point. Bouillon wins everywhere he's gone. Like junior, when he NTDP,
Denver.
college, Denver, the World Championships, and he's just a younger Quinn Hughes, in my opinion, where let him get the reps, let him get activated. He can almost do no wrong in Vancouver. It's a dumpster fire out there right now. And it's going to be cool to see what he can do because he is a hell of a player and he's got a ton of game. And Sammy seems to agree.
Yeah. Sammy does definitely agree. I'm trying to look for the Bruins lineup right now for tonight just to see like where they were going to be slated. Because I was interested to see if they were going to keep it. I don't know if there's no lineup released yet, but someone put something out there that they did move Pasternak off the third line and up to the first line with Geeky and Lindholm. So might
I
be just
think
shuffling the deck a little bit.
the puck may have dropped already, so
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we're a couple minutes in here.
we could just peer out to the TV
Yeah,
if we wanna. Do we wanna tie this up here, fellas, and watch the game?
I'm
Definitely.
down for that.
Definitely. As always, though, we have to end 2 out of 3 so far on the roadie. We're currently, I said we were 19-11. We are 19-13-0. Where are we on the bear leave meter?
I'm
1 to
close to Bergeron.
37.
I'm close to Bergeron right now. I'm not gonna lie. I can't stop talking about them. They're in my head pretty much every day. I'm just like on NHL.com, just like looking at nonsense always, just all the articles and looking at the stat sheets and whatnot. But I think they have something here, and I think we just need to make it to the new year at this same level. And I think we're high in playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I'm high right now. I'm like a 30 or so. I was flirting with tossing a future on them just for the hell of it. They got good odds right now, so I don't know. I think if they can carry this into the new year and, see what happens. Obviously, the Olympic break kind of starts almost a new second season, but they can carry it into the big break and, pick it up where they left off. I like what they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm bare leaving. I am bare leaving.
They're coming home after this game too, with Utah, Edmonton, Vancouver, Senators, and Canadians all every other day, and that leads us all the way up to Christmas Eve.
Mhm.
And then they go back out west, but we won't get into that right now. But hopefully they can grab this one tonight, maybe 2 or 3 of the next 5 at home, and I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I'm sitting at a Craig McTavish right now when he played for the Bees, a 32 in the rating. When they came out and Pasta was on third line, he's not going to be on the third line forever, but this is just kind of a numerical thing. They're deep, and when their back end's healthy, they can go. And when Swayman's kicking, I don't know. We're a point out of first place in the division. The East is wide open. Anything can happen. Just get in, and then you catch fire at the right time. You catch fire at the right time. So I'm going to ride Craig McTavish here for the next week. We'll see kind of where we land. Could be Bergie by next week. We don't know, but it'll be a good one here tonight. I think it'll be a good test because the Wild are legit. I think they're a legit contender. Their goaltending is very, very good. They're very deep. Now their back end looks pretty different with Faber, Hughes, and what they got up front with Kaprizov is pretty nasty. So it'll be a good one, and then we'll keep track of it this week. And maybe next week, boys, we roll out our Olympic previews and we get a little crazy. Some hot takes.
With a special guest potentially.
Potentially.
Longtime scout from where? Suburb of Massachusetts?
Yeah.
We'll leave it up blank.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, as always, check us out on Twitter, on Instagram, and gentlemen, we'll catch you here next week.
Go Bees.
Peace.
See you, boys.